Hello everyone. We're at Wembley.
Very nice.
We're a special weekend. It's the FA Cup final on Saturday. Massive game, one of the biggest games of the year. And I'm here with Jim Daly from Palace Fan TV and Sam from United People's TV.
I thought you forgot my name there.
I thought you did too, yeah.
I thought you forgot my name.
Remember the important one.
Yeah, you'll never know what we've been through to just to film this right now.
So enjoy it.
But it's happening.
So try and enjoy it. And I guess the same goes for you, Jim, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the season's not been that great.
It's been a half and half season, if you will, like a half and half scarf, almost as bad as a half and half scarf.
Like that.
No, this is not half and half. This is red and blue. This is red and
t-shirt.
this is red and blue, and it looks fantastic. Brilliant in the first half of the season. Kind of struggled in the second half of the season, but only in the league, and yet in the cup we've been fantastic. We've had literally our best 5 games have been in the cup. Which is why we're at the final now. But it does seem weird because we'd sort of win at Spurs, win against Southampton, and then we go back in the league and we'd like lose to Bournemouth and struggle against Watford. It was really odd, and no one could work out what was happening.
So it's been bizarre.
Yeah.
Like we were saying before we started filming, like I don't know how to feel about Palace. So what's the truth? Are they a decent side or not?
Yeah, they are a decent side, sort of on their day when it all clicks. And I think there's something about being in the cup games this season. Maybe the pressure's been off, the romance, the fact there's not 3 points at stake, I don't know, something about that where it has all clicked. And when it's been the right players, we had a few injuries, a few loss of form.
Preaching to the choir here about injuries.
When it's all come together, it's been fantastic. And we're hoping obviously on Saturday it all comes together again. But you're right, it hasn't been perfect, but then, maybe the unperfect season is the best one.
No, it all comes down to this weekend, doesn't it? Obviously winning that game. But is that the case for Man United? Obviously, good win against Bournemouth.
Yeah, it was a good win against Bournemouth. You're sitting there going, why has that not happened? Like, for the last 15
I'm glad
games.
United played a strong team. I would have been livid if they played a second string. I'd be so angry.
Well, United fans were angry to see a first team. Obviously, Van Gaal got away with it. There were no injuries. We got Rashford, so we flushed the West Ham game out of the system. But it's an FA Cup final. It'll be fantastic for United, but that's not how we measure a successful season. It's not because we're arrogant. It's not because we're not looking down on things. But Van Gaal said he was going to be challenging for titles. But
it's a trophy. It's a trophy, though. It's a trophy.
The FA Cup will be fantastic.
It's a trophy, and United are the sort of team that need to win trophies. Palace don't need to win this. We'd love it if we win it.
Obviously, not the best weather today. It's slightly drab.
A little bit.
That could happen, I think, with this cup final.
Really?
Yes.
That it'll be a drab cup final.
Man United
I disagree.
Scored 49 goals in the league this year. Their worst before that in the Premier League was 58 goals.
I don't know why I'm doing that. And do you know what?
And Palace obviously are in probably the worst form.
We're in the worst form in the league, but you look at the semi against Watford, Palace.
But what's been the biggest problem?
What's been the biggest problem?
Scoring goals.
Probably scoring goals. And conceding goals.
Scoring goals, yes. 0-0 after 90 minutes might be a shame.
No, you look at again, it comes down to playing in the cup for some reason. Palace seem to lift their game. And the semi against Watford, Palace were fantastic. They really nailed it. It was the right lineup, but they were up for it, they played well, they scored early. I mean, it was only 2-1. But they're goals, and Palace got it spot on. I feel like if we come on Saturday, there's no pressure on us. All the pressure's on United.
Can you feel that? Are you feeling that?
I don't think there is pressure on United. I think the season for United fans is come and gone, and this is a lovely showpiece way to end the season. But we've already failed this season.
Well, so will it not be a failure if United
Of course,
don't
it will be
win?
a failure. But now we qualify for the Europa League because we beat Bournemouth, and it will be fantastic to win the FA Cup. But it won't measure it. Winning it won't make the season a success. Losing it won't make the season a failure. We've already failed this season.
The FA Cup is important. I don't know, this really annoys me.
It's huge for us. It's huge.
Yeah, okay, look, you're Man United, you want to win the Champions League. The FA Cup is, people remember it.
Yeah.
The League Cup less so.
Look, right.
Exactly.
They remember the FA Cup.
Okay,
so
look
it's crucial.
Okay,
look at
this.
Massive.
Exactly.
The example you got, Arsenal. They won 2 FA Cups in a row. It's like, this is it. We're going to be back in the big time. And Arsenal haven't moved anywhere.
Beautiful days that they can enjoy.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, and it would be a fantastic day. I'm not saying that I wouldn't love to win the FA Cup. I'm just saying it's not going to be the measure of success.
You don't get a trophy for finishing in top 4, do you? If you qualify, but you get Palace. We've got no trophies.
Wigan won the FA Cup. Portsmouth won the FA Cup. Anybody can have an FA Cup run. As United have failed in the season, but we haven't failed in the FA Cup. And that semi-final against Everton was probably the moment of the season for United fans. Martial. Everyone went balmy, and I don't know what's going to happen in the final. Hopefully Zaha's injured, and Balassi's your only real danger man.
So let's talk about the key players in this game.
Yeah.
Firstly, with Crystal Palace, who would you say are the 3 key men?
It's got to be the 2 wingers, Zaha and Balassi, and probably Wickham if he starts. There's a thought that he might not because of injury.
What about defenders?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Scott Down is your top goal scorer.
Our set
Scott,
pieces. We're
joint
not
goal
good at-
scorer.
we're not good at set pieces here.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we've got some big guys in there. You know, Jednak, I think Jednak might be playing to sort of match up to Fellaini. He's a big guy. Wickham's okay in the air. But really, our game comes down to those two wingers, Balassi and Zaha. And as you said, Zaha's going to be so up for this.
Yeah.
But it's against United. He feels he's got to prove himself. And on his day, he can be fantastic. He's the guy that's got us to the cup final, really. He's almost single-handedly dragged us through the FA Cup. And on his day, he's unbeatable, really.
And he's player of the year. And he's been playing in a team that the strikers have been woeful. Shamak, Adebayor, Wickham have not had good seasons.
Yeah.
He's completed more dribbles than any other player apart from Riyad Mahrez. So you could, and player of the year, it can be slightly unfortunate to not be properly seen as someone who should have been in the England.
Well, he should have been. He definitely should have been. Yeah, he's been our match winner so many times. He's got so much ability. He's still quite young. I think he will be an England international at some point. But maybe it is the fact that we haven't. I think if we did continue that form from the first half of the season to the second half, then people like him and Scott Dan probably would have had more of a chance.
Key men for Sam?
I think for me, I'm going to be on the pitch. I think it's kind of obvious who our key men are. I mean, Martial, Rashford. I'm just going to highlight those two as our key men. As long as both of those two play, we can do real damage up front. Lingard's not really a danger man, and then Mata. Rooney against Bournemouth was fantastic.
He's really a key man because he's had some really good games in midfield.
Again, he was good at Everton in the semi-final, but Rooney...
He's the best player on the pitch against Bournemouth.
Right. For me, Rooney to central midfield is what Daley Blind is to defence. He's fantastic if you give him loads of room, he's comfortable, there's no pressure on him. If you really hound him and you get somebody really biting at his heels the whole game, you're going to see him...
Which he will get.
You're going to see him. He's not very good at the intricate, small, quick passes. He's good at the long diagonals, but Rooney's not a central midfielder.
A couple of players, this could be their last game for both your clubs. Two I wanted to pick out. Damien Delaney, first of all.
Yeah.
And he's had an incredible story of a career.
Yeah.
Is he going to get a new contract? And if not, what a game to finish on.
I mean, it might almost be the perfect game for him to end his Palace career. I personally hope he sticks around because he's just proved himself so much in this Palace team. Yeah. I mean, he nearly quit football before he joined Palace. Was it 4 years ago? He joined on a free, and he's just been part of that core group of players that's taken us from the lower half of the Championship to the Premier League and the Cup final. There probably needs to be changes in Palace throughout the team, and defence probably is one of them. But if this is his last game and he lifts a cup at Palace, I mean that is the perfect story, isn't it?
Yeah, a season full of beautiful stories. Michael Carrick. Out of contract. Is he going to get an extra year? And will he even play in this game?
No, I think he will play, and I think he saw it against Bournemouth. He came out with his kids. He took a shot from outside the box. Carrick does not shoot from outside the box. Okay, so he's like, I want to go. He hit the bar.
Yeah.
So
Carrick did the same against QPR.
It kind of felt like it was his last goodbye from Old Trafford, and he's never won the FA Cup. It's a cup that's eluded him. Rooney's never won the FA Cup. There's a lot of players in that team. And I'm not downplaying the importance of the FA Cup because for so many youngsters in our squad, it will make a big difference.
Yeah.
And Carrick, it will be the perfect way to seal up because he's been a fantastic signing. He's so underrated, he's so underappreciated the whole way throughout his United career. And see him go will be sad. It's the right time, but it will still be sad to see him go.
Yeah. So a lot of parallels between 1990.
Oh yeah.
Man United finished mid-table 13th with Alex Ferguson in his third season.
Well,
fans were getting his back giving out. QPR were sitting pretty in 11th. Crystal Palace finished
15th, same position, yeah.
Hopefully we don't want the same kind of ending to it, but there's a lot of parallels.
Well, it was a good game in 1990, 3-3. Palace was 7 minutes away from winning it. Obviously, the replay was a complete disaster. Terrible.
Great goal.
Awful kit Palace was, a bumblebee kit, horrible. There are a lot of parallels.
And Pardew obviously going back.
And Pardew, but there are differences. Back in 1990, Palace had just come up. We've now been here for 3 years. We're a more established team. In 1990, our cup run, we didn't play a team from the top flight till the semi against Liverpool. Whereas this one, we're beating Spurs, Stoke, Southampton. We're a more established, better team than we were in 90.
And there'll be no replay after this. There's no
replay. No bumblebee kit for Palace, thankfully.
And you want to know a strange parallel as well was the last time the United scored less goals in a Premier League season was 1989 against, and we won that year.
Weird. So the rain's come back, so let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Predictions. What do you think's Gavin?
Very close, like 1990. 2-1 Palace.
Ian Wright to come on and score both.
Ian Wright to get both. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I do think it'll be 2-1, but to United, I think both teams are going to score. United, they're going to hurt us on set pieces. I can see you scoring from a set piece, but I think Martial and Rashford got too much. I think they're both going to score.
There you go. So let's know what you think about the FA Cup final. Is it still an important event? And what do you think the score is going to be? Is it going to rain? Let us know.
Yes.
Enjoy the video, give it a like, and remember, subscribe to Ball Street by hitting on Jim's optimistic face.